it up. Hey, hundreds and fifties and 20s, no fives and no singles, don't count on them. Hey, she wanted like me cause her blame, she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit on my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let them keep the score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll see the former MVP Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons as they match up with Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room, and we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Atlanta Falcons. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they interplay here. They come into this one off a bit of a clunker last time out, a loss that ended their 5-game winning streak. Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by their quarterback standing at 6'2" from Eastern Illinois. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 12 carries, 99 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on. Defensively, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
Now, I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling.
He's got it with the 15. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. Does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
This will be caught inside the 10. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, how about the passing numbers so far on this first drive?
Well, no doubt about it. They're flinging it around.
And across the goal line, into the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers. Raheem Mostert, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the 49ers drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Gold with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. As we get a peek at Matt Ryan, a man who's been in the league since back in 2008.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
And here's the offense now. Charles, who's the guy you chose to highlight?
The tone setter, the guy in the middle, Alex Mack. His return, never good for the opposition.
From the 29, Ryan connects with Sanu right side. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down.
Mohamed Sanu is a guy that is often overlooked because he just quietly goes about his business. But how about last season? Had a career-high 838 yards on 66 catches, and he can also play Wildcat quarterback for you as well.
Well, look now at the defensive starting lineup for the 49ers. They've been pretty solid against the pass, toward the middle of the pack, number 14 in the NFL.
And those are the kind of plays that this unit needs to make because they know that going against a team of this magnitude and the way that they're playing, they cannot afford to let them get on a roll early, chip away at their timing.
That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. On 3rd down, Ryan.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, you've got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And coming up on their 2nd drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tack McKinley, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise. Throwing it, you don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And now for him on the season, that is his 80th catch, and the result is a 1st down. You know, he's already thrown for more yardage in this first quarter than he did all of last week.
And I could be snarky here and say, well, he didn't throw for a lot of yards last week. But the bottom line is he put in a great week of practice and really came out ready to go in this one.
In on the tackle, Devondre Campbell, Falcons leading tackler in 2018. On 2nd and 9. Garoppolo, and he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Grady Jarrett able to record his 5th sack of the season, and that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. So possession 1 ended in 6. Possession 2 likely going to end in a punt.
Yeah, that's okay. They just got to get back to what they worked on in the opening drive and continue to make a few adjustments along the way. They won't be exact because the defense will make a few adjustments themselves. Just get back to your game plan.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at the 20. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. But he used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons. On first down, Ryan.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing in the line of scrimmage.
Now it's Ryan. And he's caught on his sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. Tavecchio puts this one through, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
Falcons 3.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Jimmy Garoppolo and his offense heading back on the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. First man through, it's the fullback Juszczyk. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them. I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
This fielded at the 2. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one in SoCal. The Vikings and the Chargers from Dignity Health Sports Park. Coverage at 8:20 Eastern, 5:20 Pacific on EA Sports. Mohamed Sanu with nobody ahead of him. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 57 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Ryan. Big loss here as he's taken down. DeForest Buckner, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately. I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
You know, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. To throw is Ryan. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Here we go.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target. Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 21. Here's Ryan. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd down. Ryan. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett. The 20, 10, and into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. So a pick 6 there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick 6 going the other way.
Gold to add the extra point. It's good, and now it's an 11-point lead, 17-6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following the pick 6, and they're decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
They told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
The Falcons on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Ryan to throw. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage just come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. He'll pick up another first down with that run.
He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at a 45. 12 yards there and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Now a play fake here on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Tack McKinley in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Good job.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Now Mostert. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Ito Smith heading back out with the rest of his offensive crew. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. To throw on 2nd and 10. Ryan. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. And Jones has it over the middle. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Throwing now, Ryan on first down.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains, and really it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
And this one brought in by Sanu. 12 yards there and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now Ryan. And the Niners get there and bring him down. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now Ryan. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now it's Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. DeForest Buckner in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for it. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll start by heading out west, State Farm Stadium in Glendale. And it's the Browns who have the lead in the second quarter. Antonio Callaway, a touchdown reception. Next, we'll head up to the Bay Area, check on the Raiders at home in Oakland. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting Jags who are out in front. The former Super Bowl MVP, Nick Foles, has a touchdown pass. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last as we head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. And you can see there, it's the visiting LA Rams who have the lead in that one. Jared Goff has thrown a touchdown pass. In the game you're watching, it was Jimmy Garoppolo who was brilliant in that first half. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. Ryan hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to...
Julio Jones all alone. The 30. 10. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones. 89 yards. And the Falcons have cut it to within a score. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And that will shave one more off this lead. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. This is Mostert. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Marquise Goodwin, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the 49ers add on to their lead. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
Gold able to tack on the extra point. And the lead now up to 14. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter. Went down, got the touchdown, and cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go. Now flags come flying in. One of the Falcons moved early. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. From the shotgun, Ryan. And that will be incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
It's taken to the 26. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 44. On the quick handoff, it's Juszczyk. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
All right, let's put the check mark on the defensive side of the ledger there. Really nice tackle by the man in the middle. But why was he able to get that done? Because he has 4 down linemen in front of him, 2 tackles, 2 ends. And what they often try to do is create what we call a funnel. Right to the man in the middle linebacker, who often leads his team in tackles.
Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And an alley to run. Now Garoppolo lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running back.
Touchdown, 49ers! Marquise Goodwin, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, in a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Try to get the run game going. Here's Smith, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping them from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Set to take over again here on offense, Jimmy G and the 49ers. And you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See who can drive the bus here again on this drive. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down. From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. And that is incomplete.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
51, go!
They'll start on the ground. It's Ito Smith trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Malcolm Smith there for the stop.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And this will be a gain of right around 3 from the 7 out to the 10-yard line.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Mostert, and he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 7 yards there and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. Now a pass hauled in downfield, and they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 25 yards that time. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. On 2nd and 7, Garoppolo.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Well, that last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Jordan Matthews, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers add on to their lead.
I know a lot of people look at these games and think, all right, this thing's done. Let's have some sportsmanship. Let's not try and score. You should never do that in the NFL. I've seen big leads blown, and teams that look like they had a victory, all of a sudden we're going home with a loss.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Ryan. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Mark 56. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
To throw again on 2nd down. Ryan, he's going to air one out. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Adrian Colbert, he was right there in coverage. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But the bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance. If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage lost, though. Huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions, even when you're taking some hits. Sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. D. Ford racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and goal. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Ito Smith, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons cut into that lead. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point, because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. The lefty Tavecchio now to add the extra point. And that'll cut the lead back now to 21. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down, it caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Quite the turnaround from a week ago where he threw 4 interceptions. He hasn't had an interception in this game, and he told us during the week, my goal, goose egg. He's achieving that so far.
And what we're seeing is a guy that you can win with, all right? Because anyone who can make that type of an adjustment to shake off.
And he coughed it up, and the Falcons grab it, and they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
Well, maybe it hasn't exactly been a Rembrandt, but they've been mistake-free to this point and finally coughed it up. I don't think it's going to cost them the game. They should be fine. But, boy, they're going to hate that, going back and watching tape and being able to say, we were that close to achieving our goal of 0 turnovers during the game.
A little blemish, but as you say, still comfortably in command.
I think it's okay that they didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
12 yards there and a 1st down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
That is caught right at the 10-yard line.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
And a nice pick up there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line.
Well, Brendan, we always know that once you score one touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Mohamed Sanu there, but now it'll be third down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Mostert. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. In on the tackle, Devondre Campbell, Falcons' leading tackler in 2018.
And give him a lot of credit there, but even more credit to the guys up front. In that situation, you know it's going to be a stacked defensive front. And to be able to gain that much yardage, that's a big win for the guys on offense.
Yeah, they were just about standing on their own goal line, so to get a few yards there, a great start. Now we'll see what second down brings. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get him down up past the 15. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for San Francisco, the final 2 weeks are going to tell the story for them as they move to 9-5 with the win. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, the loss might knock them out of playoff contention as they drop to 6-8. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaunt.